Hey guys, this is me after everything has been recorded, and this is an overall season review of Manchester City, including the previous videos I made on them. So I hope y'all enjoy this. First is gonna be the previous videos, then the actual edited part, the newest stuff. So I hope y'all enjoy. Okay, so I've never really covered Man City here, so let's do it now that 2024 is over. And welcome back to the channel. And yeah, as you can tell, we are talking about Man City's season so far because I'm a Man City fan. We start with the transfer window, and we only made 2 signings, Gundogan and Savinho. Gundogan last season was one of Barcelona's best players, and he cooked for them and got 5 goals and 14 assists, which is pretty good stats for a midfielder in 51 games. Yet Barcelona, being brain dead by Dani Olmo, who's an attacking midfielder, or well, he could play on the wing also, Gundogan couldn't. Barcelona let Gundogan go on a free, and he came back home for his homecoming, and Barca never learned about making bad transfers. We also signed Savinho for £25 million after he helped Girona secure top 4 in La Liga for the first time in history while he was on loan from French League 2 club Troyes. And Girona finished 3rd ahead of the likes of Atletico Madrid, Athletic Bilbao, Real Sociedad, Real Betis, Villarreal, Valencia, etc. Last season, he bagged 9 goals and 10 assists in 41 appearances. Sure, he didn't hit double figures in goals, but he did an assist, and still, that's not a bad season for your first season in La Liga, and he was one of the best dribblers. And he made the team of the year as well. Now the departures. First off, Julian Alvarez for 75 million euros. And this is one of the transfers that really hurt us because we never got a replacement for him. So yeah, if Haaland gets injured, season's over. Cancelo, after falling out with Guardiola 2 years ago, finally left for Al Hilal for £25 million to get the bag. And we should have got a replacement for him because Gvardiol is not a natural left back. He's a natural center back, but he can play left back because Guardiola put him there, and he's actually pretty good at it. But still, we need a natural left back that's versatile like Cancelo. And this really came back to bite us later. Center back Taylor Harwood-Bellis also left to Southampton for £23 million. Sergio Gomez to Real Sociedad for £9 million, and also Tommy Doyle to Wolves for £5 million. Calvin Phillips went on loan to Ipswich Town, Issa Kabore to Benfica, and Massimo Perrone to Como in Italy on loan. And we should have gotten a Calvin Phillips replacement also. That transfer never worked out, but we need a Rodri backup. We better get one this January transfer window, otherwise we are cooked. Finished. Another thing that didn't help is Oscar Bob. He got a long-term injury until January before any games were played, as Pep had big plans for him. Before the season started, we played Man United in the Manchester Derby in the Community Shield final, and very late on, Garnacho gave United the lead, but Bernardo Silva replied minutes later, and the game was sent to penalties as a result. We won on penalties thanks to Johnny Evans missing the penalty and Manuel Akanji taking advantage of the opportunity to win. For the opening match between Chelsea and Manchester City, there's some beef between Cucurella and Haaland after what Cucurella said in the Euros. Do not play that clip. Do not play that clip.
Cucurella se come una paella. Cucurella se bebe una estrella. Jala tiembla que viene Cucurella. Jala tiembla, toma una galleta.
Hate it. Haaland, however, silenced him and beat him to score the opening goal. And also, later in the match, Cucurella was down on the floor and he begged Haaland for help, but Haaland just ignored him. Shut your dumb ass up, Cucurella! Kovacic sealed the win late on to secure an early crucial 2-0 win. And despite falling behind to Ipswich, Haaland obtained all the Infinity Stones and scored a hat-trick. Against West Ham, Haaland scored early, only for Ruben Diaz to sabotage his own team. Haaland, though, didn't care and scored 2 more to win City's 3rd straight game in the Premier League. City fell down behind again to Brentford and Young Wissa, but Haaland showed up yet again to save City. In the opening Champions League match, Man City had to play a familiar face, Inter Milan again, and they were going to be out for blood after losing the final, but instead, it ended in a dull 0-0 draw. Kevin De Bruyne got injured for 5 Premier League games, and that includes against Arsenal, and this game is where things started going sour. First the Rodri injury, right after Haaland gave us the lead, but then Calafiori and Gabriel scored to give Arsenal the lead. More drama, however, as Trossard gets a second yellow card for doing literally nothing. John Stones would take advantage after that and salvage a point against the Gunners, and in the EFL Cup, Jeremy Doku and Matheus Nunes helped us to a comfortable 2-1 win against Watford and helped us progress to round 4 of the competition. The next game though, we dropped points against Newcastle despite Gavardio giving us the lead as we bottled and conceded a penalty. And this is where all our struggles really began. Sure, we beat Slovan Bratislava 4-0 in the Champions League, but we barely escaped Fulham after Andreas Pereira gave Fulham the lead, but Kovacic had to literally carry us, and Duncan put the icing on the cake, and Rodrigo Muniz did pull them back, but it still finished 3-2 for the Citizens. We fell behind again, but this time to Wolves, and Gavardio equalized before Stones saved us yet again. We destroyed Sparta Prague 5-0 in the Champions League, but that only papered over the cracks. And so did the win against Southampton thanks to Haaland. Here things keep going downhill. Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, and then Richarlison said if Vinny doesn't win, is about to go down. And has gone down, because ever since that, we lost to Spurs in the EFL Cup thanks to Timo Werner and Papa Sarr. Like, how do we concede to them, bro? I'm done. But at least we still have 3 trophies left to obtain. Too bad we lost to Bournemouth thanks to Semenyo and Evan Nilsson. Then we got absolutely shredded by Victor Gyökeres in Ruben Amorim's last game for Sporting before we moved to our rivals Manchester United. Haaland gave us the lead yet again, this time against Brighton, only for our defense to completely screw us over, and we lost 2-1 in the dying minutes. Then we got cooked by Spurs in a 4-0 loss, and against Feyenoord, Haaland scored 2 and Gundogan scored 1, only for our defense to collapse yet again, and we conceded 3 goals in 15 minutes. Complete bottle job from City, bro. Title contenders Liverpool were nuts, and we really stood no chance, bro. Gakpo and Salah cooked. Believe it or not, we actually won, and it was against a decent Forest side, 3-0. So that's pretty respectable. I thought that we had actual hope, but we did not. We didn't keep that momentum up at all against Crystal Palace because we fell behind to Daniel Munoz. Haaland though was here to save us again, only to concede yet again. Rico Lewis equalized, but no one could get another goal, and after that it ended 2-2, and we somehow drew to Crystal Palace, the worst Crystal Palace I've ever seen, who are in a relegation fight right now and aren't even in mid-table anymore. Juventus then tripped us as well in the Champions League with Dusan Vlahovic and Weston McKennie scoring, and this was the first time 2 Americans linked up for a goal in the Champions League, as Timothy Weah got an assist. As an American, sure I'm happy, but please don't do it against our team this time, next time, whatever. You know what I mean. Next was the Manchester Derby, and Gavardio scored late in the first half, but our defense collapsed yet again. No surprise to anyone, we conceded 2 goals in 2 minutes. A penalty, Bruno Fernandes, whatever, and Amad Diallo put the dagger in the heart and scored the winner. Like, what are we supposed to do? Win, bro. Okay, I've been winning for like a while. City have been winning for a while, so it's whatever, honestly. Also in this game, Ruben Diaz picked up a long-term injury, so that makes things better. Aston Villa was next, but who else but John Duran to score, who has been on fire this season. Morgan Rogers then secured the 2-1 win for the Villains against us, and now the latest occurrence of bottling. Bernardo Silva gave us an early lead, but then we choked yet again thanks to Ndiaye, and Haaland missed a penalty in the second half. God, can the pain never end. And also against the Everton game, Nathan Ake and Manuel Akanji, they picked up long-term injuries, so yeah, that makes things worse. But after that, we actually won, believe it or not, against Leicester City. Sure, they don't have Kieran Dewsbury Hall, James Maddison, they have 37-year-old Jamie Vardy, but like still, bro. And Leicester have a good rep after they won the Prem. But yeah, at least finally won. Also, today we beat West Ham 4-1. We are so bad. I just added this part like mid-editing because like I just watched it like right before. This was before the West Ham game. My apologies. We've only won 2 of our last 14 games. So yeah. Good that our schedule isn't the hardest before the January window, but we really need signings, otherwise there is no hope for the season. And I've noticed a pattern, like we take the lead, but then we bottle, because our players are so tired and we barely have any subs because like half of our team is injured. But let me know your thoughts on this. Also, I'm going to start making more videos on this channel. I'm starting a new series called The Weekly Suey, and I'm gonna post like football this week, kind of like Evan G, what he does, because I mean, he's an inspiration for that. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned. I'm also gonna work on the gaming channel like a lot. I'm going full out grinding. And also, let me know in the comments what signings do you think we should make. Who should we offload? Kyle Walker, obviously. And let me know your thoughts on everything that's happening in the city. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Manchester City are the most bunch of incompetent bozos I have ever seen. How do we lose 5-1 to Arsenal? Are you, like, do you have any shame? Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over Man City's season again. We're talking about them. We've lost 5-1 to Arsenal. Why? Anyways, before we cover the Arsenal game, we have to cover everything before that. So last time we talked about City, we had just been in West Ham 4-1, although that was a voiceover. I don't care. I thought we were back, honestly. And we destroyed Salford City 8-0 the next match in the FA Cup. I know it's Salford City, but still, I had confidence going into our next game against Brentford. Foden absolutely carried us in that game, and our defense sold again. How do you do that? So much mistakes in the defense. Mistake after mistake after mistake. Embarrassing isn't even the word. I'm ashamed to call myself a Manchester City fan after this. How are we 2-0 up in the 82nd minute and then we concede 2 goals? How does that even happen? Johan Wissa and Christian Norgard scored the goals. Bro, I understand Wissa, but Norgard, I've never even heard of him. Who even is that guy? I know we beat Ipswich 6-0 the next game, but I'm still mad. I watched that. Yeah, I just stopped watching after the first half, bro, because I knew we were gonna destroy them. And now PSG. Oh, PSG, oh, PSG. I actually play for the academy in Miami, but we don't talk about that. We scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. Haaland and Grealish finally scored. Once I saw that, I had hope. Inject that false hope into my veins. Dembele scored. Barcola scored. Joao Neves scored. And even Gonzalo Ramos. How does that even happen? Gonzalo Ramos is supposed to be terrible. How do we let him score against us? I don't understand this. Sure, we beat Chelsea 3-1 in our next match, but like, bro, Kusanov, why? Why? Bro, just control the ball, pass it back with your feet, not a header. Are you, like, did you take out all of your brain cells before the match? Bozo, you bum. Just kidding, love you, Kusanov. But anyways, against Club Brugge, we fell behind again. And this was a must-win game. Luckily, Savinho and Kovacic saved us. Otherwise, we would have been humiliated. And Club Brugge, they killed themselves technically because they scored an own goal, but they're still through either way, so they technically didn't kill themselves, but whatever. And now, Arsenal. Odegaard scored within the first 2 minutes because Akanji, this bozo, is passing the ball straight to the other team. Of course they're gonna score. Thank goodness Kai Havertz is terrible because we did the same thing again. But luckily he has terrible finishing. How much incompetence do you have to have? Haaland leveled the scores. Thank God in the second half, and then we conceded 2 minutes later. Foden, you're absolutely garbage. I thought he was back, but after this game, I don't even know what to say anymore. And Stefan Ortega, how did you let that Luis Skelly go past you? It was an easy save. How does that even happen? How do we even let Kai Havertz score on us? Kai Havertz. He's supposed to be bad. He has horrible finishing. Terrible. God awful. How does that even happen? We are terrible, bro. Like, this is worse than lockdown Arsenal. Okay, it's not that bad. We're only 5th. But still! And Ethan Wanyeri scored. Okay, that like, was just on us, bro, honestly. Like, that was on the whole team. I don't even know who to blame for that. We play Leyton Orient away tomorrow in the FA Cup as of I'm recording this. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose at this point. Because, goodness, we are terrible. But, come on. We got this. We got this. We got this. And then we had to draw Real Madrid in the Champions League on top of all this. Real Madrid! Out of all the teams, we got Real Madrid. The one who's won it like 15 times. Can the pain never end? In our next couple of matches, we have Newcastle, Madrid, as I mentioned, Liverpool, Tottenham, not that bad, Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Leicester, no, well, that's an easy win, Man United, that easy win, but we have an informed Crystal Palace and Everton team. This is bound to be two of the worst months in Manchester City's history. Even with our new signings, we can't do anything. Like, what's the point? We sign new players and they don't perform. Like that, oh my god, bro. Now I know how Arsenal fans feel when they sign Nicolas Pepe, because Jesus Christ. I mean, they still have to get adapted, to be fair. They just arrived, but like, still, why? But anyways, let me know your thoughts on this. Hella short vid, but I don't care. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the transfer video, or at least in the episode 7, I don't know. See you guys later. Bye.
How are we already out of the Champions League in February? We didn't even make the round of 16. How much incompetence do you have to have?
Barely even beat Leyton, Orient, and Spurs. I can't do this with a straight face, man. So, last time I talked about this, we got absolutely destroyed. Our team crumbled before my very eyes. Any dignity that we had before that match, it was all demolished at the hands of Mikel Arteta. Anyways, this absolute bozo Stefan Ortega scored an own goal, and we fell behind to Leyton Orient. They're barely even in the top 10 in League One. How are we behind to them? Luckily, we're Manchester City, so we came back. De Bruyne and Kusanov scored. Kusanov scored his first goal. But, oh my god, how do we do that? And then we drew Real Madrid in the Champions League. Why couldn't it have been anyone? Anyone but Real Madrid. The team who have won it the most. The team who own us. Why? Can this pain ever end? I still have sleepless nights over those Real Madrid losses. Rodrigo and the penalty shootout. Thankfully, Haaland carried us, scoring within 20 minutes against Real Madrid at home in the Etihad. After the half, however, Mbappe decided to recreate the World Cup goal against Argentina. Like, what the hell is this? We were absolutely getting dominated by Real Madrid in the second half. They were unlucky to score, and we were lucky that they didn't score. Thankfully, we got a penalty, Haaland converted, and it looked like it was going to be a 2-1 win. But then this absolute bozo Ederson deflected Vinicius' shot right to Brahim Diaz. Are you discombobulated? And then he went off his line. Bozo isn't even the word for this preposterousness. Of course Vinicius' shot was gonna go in, but then Bellingham made sure that it was gonna go in. Ederson, I have a bounty on you. When I find you, bro, you're not safe. Luckily, before the second leg, Marmoush finally scored, and he scored a hat-trick against Newcastle, and I honestly thought we were back and had a chance. But that false hope was diminished immediately when Ruben Diaz pulled off some bozo antics. Like, what is this, please? Of course Mbappe scored. Gavardio, how do you let that happen to you? You're lucky it's not the 90s, otherwise I would send you to the front lines to fight in the Balkan War. And then Mbappe scored again, and we only scored one goal after that. Nicolas Gonzalez, he may have scored his first goal, but I don't care. It was a tap-in. And then these absolute bozos lost to Liverpool at home. Of course Marmoush was offside, Salah scored, and Szoboszlai scored. I'm fed up with this. How do we barely beat Spurs also? They're an abomination of a football club. Thankfully Haaland carried us yet again. We're lucky they have more injuries than 2022 Chelsea. Because what is this, please? If they had their full fit lineup, we would have lost like 4-0 like before. Thank God they are injured, bro. Cause like, oh my days, bro. And in the FA Cup, how do we fall behind to Plymouth? Thankfully we came back again. Nico O'Reilly had to carry us. An academy graduate carried us. That doesn't even start. What the hell is this? This has to be a simulation. And this is why we are getting absolutely smoked tomorrow by Nottingham Forest. There's no way we don't lose 5-0. They have one of the best attacks and defenses in the league. We may have one of the best attacks, but we have a horrible, leaky defense. It's more leaky than my sewage pipes. What is this? This has to be rigged. Only hope for the rest of the season is the FA Cup, since there is no one good in it. The only teams that have an actual chance are
Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, and maybe Bournemouth and Fulham. Too bad we got the most in form of those sides out of all of them, Bournemouth. This has to be rigged. This is unfair. If we don't beat Bournemouth, I will disown these absolute bozos. Being a Man City fan in 2025 simply isn't good for my mental health. We're the only Big Six club left in the FA Cup. If we don't win this, we'll deserve to win a trophy for the rest of our history. Cause what is this, please? We have Preston North End in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. What is this? This has to be a simulation. I wouldn't be surprised if we somehow bottle this after all the terrible performances this season. I thought we would be back after those January signings. Apparently we're not. Because all we've done since the January window ended, we got absolutely destroyed by Arsenal 5-1. We barely scraped past Leyton Orient. We bottled against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Lost 2-0 to Liverpool. Barely beat Plymouth. And we barely beat Spurs, those serial bottlers themselves. How do we do this? How do we pull this off? I'm sick and tired of this abomination of a team. We're out of the Champions League to Real Madrid. We got eliminated in the EFL Cup to Spurs. We've been out of the Premier League title race for a while. The only silver lining is that we have an actual chance in the FA Cup. Now that no one in the FA Cup left is actually good. I'm sorry, but Aston Villa or Nottingham Forest or Bournemouth or whatever, they are not winning the FA Cup. It is just not possible. There's no way. If we don't win the FA Cup, we seriously deserve everything that's coming to us. Because please, what the hell is this? And how are we below Nottingham Forest? This is embarrassing beyond embarrassing. How do we lose to the worst Real Madrid team I've ever seen? They're getting absolutely carried by Mbappe. And don't get me started on Arsenal. Their attack is the most abysmal I've ever seen. How do we lose 5-1 to them? I've had enough. And I don't care. This Liverpool team is not that good. Arne Slot came in with a bunch of world-class players. Of course he's gonna be successful. Like, what the hell is this? I'm done, man. I'm fed up with this club. I swear, if we don't beat Forest tomorrow, I will disown these bozos. I'm fed up with this stupid abomination of a team. How do we lose to Forest? How? This has to be rigged. I'm done with this preposterous nonsense, man. How on earth have we gone trophyless this season? This is embarrassing beyond embarrassing. But anyways, we are back with another video where we will be going over everything the whole season. Last time I talked about this atrocious team, we had just lost to Nottingham Forest. Next up, we had Brighton, and we actually played well and went up 1-0 with a Haaland penalty. Too bad Estupiñán equalized 11 minutes later. Omar Marmoush brought us back to the lead, but then this absolute bozo scored an own goal. Anyways, the game ended 2-2, so we dropped points to flipping Brighton. Against Bournemouth in the FA Cup, it looked like another humiliating loss after Haaland missed a penalty and Evan Nilsson gave Bournemouth the lead, but Haaland redeemed himself and Omar Marmoush found the winner to continue his great form. Against Leicester, Grealish somehow scored for once and Omar Marmoush doubled the lead to keep up his scoring streak and secure the win. Somehow after that, we couldn't beat the worst Manchester United team ever. Against Crystal Palace in the Premier League nets, we fell behind as per usual and were 2-0 down, but the comeback was on. De Bruyne pulled one back and Omar Marmoush leveled the scores right before the half to score his 4th goal in 5 matches. After the break, we kept it up with Kovacic putting us in front and Edison assisting James McAtee to make it 4. Nico O'Reilly put the icing on the cake to make it 5-2. Against Everton, we didn't fumble this time with 2 late goals from Nico O'Reilly and Mateo Kovacic. Next was a crucial match against Aston Villa, who we are competing with for the Champions League spot, and it looked good as just 7 minutes in. Bernardo Silva opened the scoring, but soon Marcus Rashford equalized from the penalty spot. It took another last-minute winner, this time by Mateus Nunez, to obtain all 3 points and stay in the UCL spot. We keep performing at our best thanks to Rico Lewis and Josko Gavardio scoring to give us yet another win against a pretty decent Forest side in the FA Cup. Kevin De Bruyne scored the only goal to earn all 3 points against Wolves, and with all that momentum built up, we decided to draw to last place Southampton right before the big final. Are you discombobulated? How can you not score against the worst team in the league? And now the FA Cup final, the big one. Eberechi Eze gave Crystal Palace the lead, but surely we would come back. Come on, we're Man City. Oh wait, this absolute fraud Omar Marmoush missed a crucial
single penalty, and we never got anything after that. Bro, this was our best chance at winning a trophy in this abysmal season, and we fumbled, which means we are trophyless this season. But at least we still have a chance with the Club World Cup, and we're in top 5 and in the Champions League spot with 2 wins in our final games against Bournemouth and Fulham. That sees us qualify for the Champions League on the final day. But props to Crystal Palace, who won their first ever trophy, well deserved. Back to hating on my club. I hate this stupid team. I hate this establishment. I hate the players. I'm fed up. Please do good in the Club World Cup, otherwise we're gonna have problems. Speaking of the Club World Cup, we started off with a match against Wydad AC from Morocco, and Foden seems like he's finally returning to form with a goal and assist to secure all 3 points. We then advanced after destroying Al Ain 6-0, and then against Juventus to determine who topped the group. Doku put us up, but Koopmeiners soon leveled it just 2 minutes later. We went up through an own goal, and in the second half, Haaland made it 3-1. 2 more goals from Foden and Sevilla gave us a comfortable 5-2 win, as we topped the group to play Al Hilal, finished second in their group. In this round of 16 tie, we went up inside 9 minutes, but of course right after the break, we sold and Al Hilal found the equalizer and then took the lead. Haaland would level it back, however, to send the match to extra time, where Koulibaly would give Al Hilal the lead again, but Foden equalized again. Finally, Leonardo found the winner, and we somehow got eliminated. In conclusion, this season was absolutely just a season to forget, man. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. There's gonna be loads of more content coming soon. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. These videos take me a while, man. So yeah, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.